You.
I'm Jeff Bezos.
And what is your claim to fame?
I'm the founder of Amazon.com.
Where did you get an idea for Amazon.com?
Well, 3 years ago, I was in New York City working for a quantitative hedge fund when I came across the startling statistic that web usage was growing at 2,300% a year. So I decided I would try and find a business plan that made sense in the context of that growth.
So here, this is my desk here. And that's the fax machine, as you can see up there.
Which direction did you decide to go first and why?
Well, we picked books as the first best product to sell online because we thought in that category, especially 4 years ago, we could create the most value for customers. Because one of the things customers value is selection. And books is an unusual category because there's more selection in that category than there are in any others. So that was why that started. But now, as the technology has matured and as the audience has grown, it's possible to, in other categories like toys, we have a complete toy store now, we have a complete electronics store now, even TVs. We're selling 60-inch televisions. I didn't think people would buy them online, but they do.
There are lots of advantages to shopping online, but one of the most compelling ones is how much time you can save. Time is the most precious commodity in the late 20th century. And the fact that you don't have to drive, park, do all those things that make life complicated when you go shopping in the physical world is a huge advantage of online shopping.
So you're driving out here in what, 94 was it?
July of 94 is when we arrived in Seattle.
And Jeff Bezos is driving out here going, I'm gonna be a billionaire, right?
No. Jeff Bezos is driving out here having gotten his parents to invest in the company, telling them that it's very likely they'll lose their entire investment in the company. And I thought that there was a 30% chance that we might build a successful company. I never thought that we would build what Amazon.com has turned into, and I'm the most surprised person on the planet.
Are you gonna make money someday?
All companies have to make money someday. And you know, companies, we try to be the Earth's most customer-centric company, totally obsessing over the customer experience.
Okay, but let me go back to the Walmart issue, though.
Yeah.
What was it that made you able to sustain a challenge from the world's greatest retailer?
Obsessive customer focus on...
But how do you focus on the customer better than they focus on the customer?
But we're very differentiated in how we do it. And so our approach, if you think about our retail business, which I think is what you're asking about here, there are really three things that we know are critical.
Well, that's the heart and soul of your business, isn't it?
Well, and especially relative to the Walmart question, I think that's the key. It's selection, low prices, and fast, convenient, reliable delivery, so that the shipment side. And so we have...
Wait. So Walmart doesn't have low prices, fast, and convenient delivery?
I would claim that Amazon has much broader selection. In many cases, if I don't want to be overly bold in my claim, but the online model gives us significant cost structure advantages that lets us have even lower prices than physical stores. Our profitability is not our customer's problem. We don't take the point of view that we're going to price products, you know, at a particular margin for ourselves. We say we're going to price products competitively, and if that means on that product that we lose money, that's okay, because we need to take care of the customer and earn trust, and we'll figure out over time. And if we find we can't ever make money with that product, we'll stop selling it. But we're not going to make customers pay for any of our inefficiencies.
I was in 2001 or 2 on a plane riding out to one of these conferences that occasionally I go to, and I said, will Amazon make it? And this very smart, but not quite too smart, investment banker said to me, who was the CEO of a firm, said, no, they won't make it. You made it. Was there a moment you thought, I might not make it?
The riskiest moment for Amazon, Charlie, was at the very, very beginning. I needed to raise $1 million at a certain point, and I ended up giving away 20% of the company for $1 million.
It's a hell of a deal for somebody.
A lot of people did very well on that deal. But they also took a risk, so they deserved to do very well on that deal. But I had to take 60 meetings to raise $1 million, and I raised it from 22 people at approximately $50,000 a person. And it was nip and tuck whether I was going to be able to raise that money. So the whole thing could have ended before it even started. That was 1995, and the first question every investor asked me was, what's the internet?
Did you ever envision that it would get to this point?
No, I'm the most surprised person on the planet. So 4 years ago, I think if anybody had predicted what would happen, they would have needed to have been immediately institutionalized. So it is surprising. In the last 2 years, we've gone from having 1 million customers to over 10 million. In fact, now it's over 12 million customers, and we definitely didn't predict it. What choices will you make? Will inertia be your guide, or will you follow your passions? Will you follow dogma, or will you be original? Will you choose a life of ease, or a life of service and adventure? When it's tough, will you give up, or will you be relentless?
I went to my boss at the time, and I really liked my job. And I told my boss I was going to go do this thing, start an internet bookstore. I said to my boss I was going to do this. He's like, this is a good idea. He said, I think this is a good idea, but it would be an even better idea for somebody who didn't already have a good job. And that sort of made some logical sense to me, and he convinced me to think about it for a couple of days. So I went away, and I was really trying to get my head around how to think about this. And for me, the best way to think about it was to project myself forward to age 80 and say, look, when I'm 80 years old, I want to have minimized the number of regrets that I have. I don't want to be 80 years old in a quiet moment of reflection, thinking back over my life and cataloging a bunch of major regrets. And once I did that, once I thought about it that way, it was immediately obvious to me. I knew that when I'm 80, I would never regret trying this thing that I was super excited about and failing. If it failed, fine. I would be very proud of the fact when I'm 80 that I tried.